Hello and welcome to Unews for Tuesday, October 15th. I'm Maity, Interiano. We begin with the president in peril. Today, a new testimony in the impeachment inquiry. George Kent, a top official for Eurasia, appears before Congress. This as we learn more about Monday's bombshell statements from Fiona Hill, a former Russian advisor for President Trump. She explained her deep concerns for Rudy Giuliani's relationship with Ukraine. Lorraine Cáceres has the very latest.
Just like Fiona Hill, George Kent was subpoenaed even though he was willing to testify. Tomorrow, House Republicans plan to have a meeting to discuss what their strategy will be, along with messages in regards to impeachment. Maity, back to you.
Thank you very much, Lorraine. Meanwhile, former Vice President Joe Biden's son is breaking his silence on President Trump's allegation he acted improperly while serving on the board of an Ukraine gas company. This is what he said in an exclusive interview for ABC News. History, serving on the board of Amtrak and the UN World Food Program, as well as his work as a lawyer. And the impeachment inquiry will certainly be a topic at the fourth Democratic presidential debate tonight in Ohio. It will be the most crowded state yet. 12 candidates on one night. The three early frontrunners, Joe Biden and Senators Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, hoping to maintain their edge, as several other candidates push to close the gap in the polls. Here's Carolina Sarasa. And with us to talk about what to expect ahead of the debate is political science. Now turning to Syria. President Trump has hit Turkey with harsh new sanctions over its military offensive in northern Syria, a crisis triggered by the president's own decision to withdraw U.S. troops from the region. Now, U.S. lawmakers on both sides are challenging the president's sanctions, saying they're not enough. Pablo Gatto is in Washington, D.C. with the latest. Washington, D.C. And now to another top story we've been tracking. A former Texas police officer is out of jail after posting bond. The cop now charged in the shooting death of a woman inside her home. Rafael Rodriguez has the latest. And the police chief of Fort Worth now speaking out about Jefferson's death, saying there is, quote, absolutely no excuse for Saturday's deadly shooting. Welcome back to Unews. The rare but deadly mosquito-borne illness called Triple E has hit Indiana, claiming the life of one man. Health officials there say it's the first death from Eastern equine encephalitis in more than 20 years. Roger Borges has more on how neighbors of the man are acting and reacting to the news. And there could be an end in sight for a month-long United Auto Workers strike against General Motors. The union asks. Meanwhile, in California, improved weather conditions have helped firefighters gain control of the 8,000-acre fire in Southern California, allowing students in the area to finally return to school. Grecia Lastra has the details. And it looks like students in California can hit the snooze button. Governor Gavin Newsom has signed a new law that prevents middle schoolers from starting before 8 a.m. and high school before 8:30. The new law makes California the first state in the country to push back school start time. But as Jaime Garcia tells us, the new law is somewhat controversial. The law does not apply to some early classes or to schools in rural districts. The new start time goes into effect in 2022. And the former president of Peru has been transferred to a new correctional facility in California. The move was ordered by a federal judge who said if better conditions were not found for Alejandro Toledo, the judge would have no choice but to release him on bail. Luis Mejid has more details. And a man is in police custody after he walked into a California police department and confessed to murder. The man apparently admitted to killing 4 people in Roseville, about 20 miles away from Sacramento. Police say one of the victims was in the trunk of the car that he drove to the police station. Paola Byron has more. Philadelphia police say a woman shot her husband and killed her 2 daughters and then tried to kill herself. And now to New Hampshire, where the suspect in a shooting is facing additional charges today. Dale Holloway was initially charged with first-degree assault for reportedly opening fire during a wedding, but prosecutors are now bringing an attempted murder charge along with 2 counts of assault. Investigators say a bishop and the bride were shot and wounded during the incident. The groom's father and the wedding at the wedding is speaking out. Controversy in Britain. This after the wife of an American diplomat struck a British teen while driving on the wrong side of the road. For the first time today, we're hearing her side of the story. Kelia Tejeda has the latest. And up next, Porsche reveals a cheaper electric. A new survey has rated the most family-friendly airlines. But first, a new announcement from Google. Anabela Sedano has all the details in today's Tech Report.
Hi there, that's right. And we begin with this. We'll finally get to see a real look of the Pixel 4 40. I'm Annabelle Sedano, and that was your daily dose of tech news. Have a good one, guys.
And now let's go to Lorraine Cáceres, who's standing by with the preview of what's next on Unews. Lorraine?
Thank you, Maity. We have a quite number of stories we're working on for the next hour of Unews, including a special look at the key battleground state of Ohio. Democrats desperate to take back that state in 2020 will meet a group of women who are now making that their mission. And in the wake of a number of power outages across California last week, we're learning now more of the consequences of those cuts. A cancer research lab now seriously worried about what may have been lost during those blackouts.
When I make my line.
And we'll bring you the terrifying moment these kids were struck by a hit-and-run driver in Massachusetts. Those kids now lucky to be alive. Stick around. We'll have top stories in the next hour, so it's just starting in a few minutes. Maity, tune in.
I surely will. Thank you, Lorraine, and we'll be waiting for you. Offensive pumpkins? A Georgia neighbor put up a sign censoring his own Halloween decorations because some of his neighbors said it goes too far. Here's Maity Murungi. That's all the time we have for this first hour of Unews. I'm Maity Interiano. Stay tuned for the second hour. Lorraine Cáceres has much more coming up.